So, looking at week one of the course, I think that when it comes to business ethics, we have to start at the beginning. Business is the one half of the name of the subject, and I think that it's not always sufficiently attended to the question of just what business is. The way that we'll approach that question this week is asking what is the purpose of a business. Now, I like to keep things balanced. I mean, I think that any philosophical question, any question at all that's worth exploring in a class, especially a philosophy class, can't have an obvious answer. It would be uninteresting to explore any question in which it wasn't unclear what the right answer to that question was. So, the question that we're looking at this week, what is the purpose of a business, does not have one answer. But I think that the answer that Homer Saracen gives the in this introduction to his uh, manual, uh, we'll find out more about the background of that, is startling enough and enlightening enough to pursue it all week long. And it's not so much that he defines the purpose of a business, is that he rejects the idea that the purpose of a business is to make a profit. And I think that that was quite, when I read it for the first time, it helped me quite a bit in thinking about business ethics and business in general. Um, he says we may take it for granted that the purpose of any business is to make money, to make a profit. And he says that is the wrong answer. Now, what the right answer is, I'm not quite sure he gives us a full idea of it, but essentially the purpose of a business is to provide some kind of service to the community. That's its primary goal. And his theory of management, his philosophy of management, is that if you take your eye off that and start attending to just maximizing your profits, you'll fail as a business. That is, you have to maintain focus on what? On quality, on delivering the service, the product or service in the best form and in the best way to the community, to your customers. And the successful business is the one that will do that. Now, does that mean that businesses aren't supposed to make profits? No, it doesn't mean that. Businesses have to make profits. But the point is, of the Saracen, or at least one of the points that he's making, is that those profits are not the end all and be all, or even the most important thing when it comes to a business. I think that they're, if you Google, which I'm doing all the time furiously, if you Google what is the purpose of business, most respectable sources will say they will agree with Saracen, and that may come as something of a surprise. You sort of take it for granted that businesses are supposed to make money, and that's what they exist for. But most people in the field of business philosophy, not just business ethics, but thinking about business management, will not say that. And exploring that idea, what is the purpose of business, is the purpose of this week. So we'll read a couple of things. The idea of the first 4 weeks, Saracen, Friedman, Carr, Drucker, is that we'll read something classic, what I consider to be classic in business ethics, and then look at some commentaries on it or look at some things on the same subject that's opened up by the classic thing. And that's what we're doing this week, looking at a couple of things that are kind of in the same area. But starting really the fundamentals, what is the purpose of a business? And opening up that question is really what I'm trying to do in the opening week of class.